Hello everybody, welcome back to Microsoft Flight Simulator once again. This is the PMDG 737-700 here in the awesome Southwest colors, and we are on the ramp here in Burbank, California, and we're going up north to San Jose, a short hop, 55 minutes total in flight. I do want to say thank you to Thrustmaster for sponsoring this video with the Boeing TCA yoke and throttle quadrant you will see me using, and also to my good friends at Orbx for providing me with both sceneries here that you will see today. And no, I was not given a free copy of the PMDG 737. I did buy it myself for $69.99. I believe it will go up in price as time goes on, so get it while you can. The airplane is absolutely remarkable, so to me, it's worth every single penny. I will say I was really impressed with the sounds on this airplane. I've been flying a lot on my Twitch channel. If you don't know what that is, it's twitch.tv/jfaviano. I stream Monday through Fridays over there, so you can catch a flight there as well. Enough of the jibber jabber. Here is the actual cockpit of the 737, and it is quite remarkable. There's some small things in here that gets some people upset down here. These screws being one of those things, kind of out of place of where they should be. There's been some options out there to fix it. I do have a fix in here for the colors because by default the panel is kind of a purplish color, and this gives it more of that true Boeing look. So that's the only modifications I have going in right now to the airplane. So we're pretty much ready to go. Just need to call up the Pushback. We need to tell them down there, hey, let's unhook everything so we can get out of here. Go to the menu, go to FS Actions, Ground Services. We have the GPU cart. We don't need that at all. Wheels, set chocks is there. So all I have to do is just hit removed on this, and it's going to start removing everybody else. I need to set my parking brake for that, and now we will be good there. If you look on the other pages, they're already going to be disconnecting the stairs and all that stuff. So we don't have to worry about that. When you say, hey, we're pulling the chocks, they know, and we'll be ready to go. Kind of an interesting departure out of here. We're doing the, I believe it's the Auras 2 departure, and that is going to be a RNAV departure, but we go to heading 210 after we depart on runway 15, and then we'll vector ourselves to go direct to Tiller after that. So I already have that ready to go in there, and we are on heading select VNAV 210 on there. We'll go to the 36,000 feet. Just come over here, go 36,000 in this. There goes 36,000. We'll worry about the landing altitude later on down the road. We're gonna go and get a beacon light on because we're gonna be ready to go, and we have just the one on the left side as far as the fuel pumps go. That's to supply the APU. So I'm going to go ahead and turn the rest of them on. We're on APU, bus, yep, all good to go there. Alexa in the middle are off for the Pushback. Probes are off. Window heat is on. All right, Pushback, distance to taxi line 262, push straight out. Yep, that's fine. We're just going to go ahead and hit start. And we're going to start this whole thing up.
Go ahead. We've been cleared for pushback and start tail straight out. Roger that. Ready for push straight back. Release the brakes, please.
All right, they're ready to push. We're going to go ahead and release these brakes. There we go. And they're going to push out to the back. So it's a little bit different here on the 737 rather than what we're used to with a Airbus style. So I'll show you here in a second once we start pushing back from the gate.
Brakes released. Here we go.
There we go. Packs are going to go to the off position. And then now we will have the APU bleeds good to go there. And that's all we have to do as far as setting up that. And then we just come over here to the left side and we go, it's on both on the ignition. We're gonna go to ground on engine 2. And we're gonna monitor down here for N2. And we want 25% on that. And then we will introduce fuel by selecting this guy and pushing him up. It's been a while since we've been in the Boeing, so we might make some mistakes today. Just keep that in mind. I'm still learning the airplane. And it's been just so much fun. That's the best thing I can say. All right, that's a good engine start on the right-hand side. So let's go ahead and start the left one. So this goes over to ground as well. And we did the same exact thing we just did. So watching for N2. It was a short pushback, but it was a pushback nonetheless. Okay, we're going to go ahead and go to on these packs. Edge bleeds come on. You go back up, turn these guys on, and the probes. I'm doing my flows before you would do the checklist. And then we do left generator, right generator. There we go. APU gen is off bus. APU can now go to the off position. We get that little arrow. There it goes right there. And the light's going out. Wonderful. Everybody's good there. And we are going to be ready to taxi. Got flaps 5, and we can go to system mode here, and we can do a flight control test. Got left, neutral, right, neutral, back, front, left, right rudder. Been flying too many Airbuses. Have that same same phraseology in there. FMC, yeah, we know we need to verify the takeoff speeds again. There we go. V1 122, VR 125, V2 will be 133 today, and we are now ready to taxi. RTO on that guy. Let's do it. All right, got my sit up here, and I'm ready for that. And the only difference really here is we're going to go ahead and turn auto throttle on. And the difference between this and the Airbus is that we are going to have the speed brakes unarmed for takeoff. It's an Airbus thing to have it armed, so you don't need to do that. You need to have RTO, but not the speed brake. You will get a warning that'll go crazy for a takeoff config if you do it that way. And trust me, my first flight out, I was so used to doing that yes, I definitely heard that. I did. So flaps 5, green light. We're good on all of that. 210 on the heading, up to 36,000 feet. And tiller at 8,000. So basically, we'll just kind of take our time, follow the flight directors on up, and it will be good to go. Almost down here to runway 15. Down here to the end of the runway. I'm going to turn the clock on. Landing lights are going to come on. I'm going to go to strobe and steady. We can get that go up. There we go. One more. Just like that. And then wing light on as well. And we are gonna go continuous on these guys. We are clear for takeoff, runway 15. Let's do it. We're gonna do Southwest style, so we won't even stop on the runway. Just pull out on the runway, goose the engines on up, and away we will go. So, left turn now onto the runway. Enjoy the departure out of Burbank here. Bring them on up. Let them stabilize. And we hit this little screw here for Toga. There we go. Toga power set. Forward pressure on the nose. Airspeed's alive.
80 knots.
Cross check.
V1, rotate.
Rotate. Man, it was a little washed out there. Sorry about that view there. There we go.
Positive rate of climb.
Gear up. And on to 210 on the heading here. A little smoggy here. That's the reason for that. This thing is an absolute rocket ship. Look at that. Vertical speed. I can't even get it up on the flight director yet. There we go, right there. Pretty crazy. So 210 on the heading. That sound you're hearing there is the pitch trim, believe it or not. We will, yeah, it's very smoggy out here in California today. It looked like snow for a second. I was like, man, it's smoggy. There we go, 210 on the heading, nice. Bring our flaps up. So now we go LNAV on that guy, and we're going direct to tiller now. So continue our turn to the right-hand side. Flaps are up, lights are out. Get this guy back to the off position, and we can put our landing gear in the off position as well. Fun departure out of Burbank, but yeah, look at that smog in front of us there. Very hazy indeed. It's almost to 250 knots here. Bring that nose up. Airplane's an absolute joy to hand fly, let me tell you. Not bad at all. Like I said, short flight today, so it won't be too crazy here. Bring that nose up. Maintain that 250 knots. We'll get the autopilot on before too long here, about 8,000 feet or so. And then I can get some awesome outside view shots for you here as well. That'll be nice. There we go. Now we're almost over here to tiller. We'll roll off towards tiller here. And once we do that, we'll be good to engage the autopilots. Landing lights are all off because we're above 10,000 feet. We can put this guy back to the off position there, and the wing light can come off as well. And then we can use our little chime if we want to let them know, hey, we just crossed 10,000 feet. So everything's looking good. Airplane's climbing. Check the cabin pressure there. And winds are just slightly off to the right, but we're just hitting a little bit of turbulence over these mountains right now as we depart out of the Los Angeles area. And 13 for 14,000. We'll be going to 36,000. 20,000 feet now. We've already gone over to standard pressure after 18,000 feet on the climb out. 7 minutes into our flight, you can see crossing over the mountains. Absolutely beautiful. All the clouds are off to the left there at the ocean side. But everything else is A-okay so far. $28,800 now for flight level 360, and as you can see here, almost to the top of climb before we get to Corez, and then if I zoom out, you'll see we make that left-hand turn. So let's talk a little bit more about the airplane. The only cons that I have seen so far, there's just a ton of pros. You don't get a EFB yet, but that will be coming down the pipeline. But the animations for the yoke and for the throttle and for the speed brake and the flap lever and even the trim wheel are very, very low. They're not smooth looking like you would expect out of other airplanes. The reason for that is because they want to save on performance for the airplane for a lot of lower end systems and stuff. However, I don't know. It seems like a shortcut I would like to see fixed, because that is kind of weird, honestly, after you're used to all the other airplanes that you've been flying in the sim. So that is one of those things. I showed you just that one that some people are losing their minds about. I don't really care about the screws in there, to be honest with you, at all. Outside of that, I mean, very cool. You can see where Southwest Flight 429 today, you can actually change these, which is really neat. And all the equipment you see here in the panel is based on the real airplane, the real tail number of November 268 Whiskey November. So really neat. Like you can move this thing down here as well. There's just so many neat things about this airplane. You can open up this guy here, and that is the jump seat. Now folds open just like that. Wouldn't be a very comfortable seat if you had to sit in it, but hey, you know what? It gets the job done, that's for certain. I mean, just the texture work and stuff is awesome looking. I mean, look at that. Just, it looks really good. Well, this back here wasn't the greatest, and then this is that texture upgrade I put in that I was talking about. Other than that, I mean, I have really, really been enjoying this airplane. It can be a jump in and go fly kind of airplane, or it can be, you know, a full-on read the manual and then go fly it. So there's a little bit of everything here for everyone, and I'm more than happy with my purchase. All right, one to go till we are at our top of climb here, and we make that left turn at Corez. So once we get to 36,000 feet, I'll look on the overhead panel here, and we'll just turn the seatbelt sign off. That's all we got.
Afternoon, folks. This is Captain Fabiano from the Flight Tech. We had a few bumps getting out of Burbank there, and we'll expect a few getting into San Jose today. Looks like the wind's out of the north there. We sure appreciate you choosing Southwest today, and we hope to see you on a future flight.
All right, before we get to our top of descent, we're going to go ahead and go to initial reference here, and we're going to go flaps 30 today and put that in there. So 131 plus 5, so 136 is what it's looking like for us. 110.9, So we need 110.9 like that, and 110.9 over there, and 306 on our course. 306, both sides, looks good to me. So all that is ready to go. You always push this down if it's in your way. But that's what we got going on there. And if you want to know how far you are out, you can use the weather, even though it's not implemented into the airplane right now. That's a sim limitation, actually. I start my descent right around the 20 nautical mile mark, and we'll just go into descent mode here. And then we have the descend now, so we'll hit that when we're ready. But we'll descend down to about 10,000 feet, or what they're looking like at the end of our star is going to be a Clyde, so 4,000. So we can clear ourselves down to 4,000 feet, and all will be well. What I'm noticing with the new sim update, I might have to adjust my Nvidia overlay, but it looks like when you look down like this, I mean, it's supposed to be constricting your eyes, you know, it's so bright out, but look at that, it completely whites it out a lot more than it used to, it feels like to me. So maybe I'll make some exposure adjustments on my settings, but if you like the settings I use on my Nvidia overlay, it's always linked in the description below. So we did all of this stuff. I know I probably didn't keep it in the video because I'm trying to keep it as short as possible here today and quick. But there's about 20 nautical miles there. We're going to hit descend now, and we're going to hit execute. Once we get this down to where we want it, we just be below through 30,000 there, hit execute there. There we go. And then down to, I said 4,000 at the end of our star here. So we're going to go ahead and do exactly that. It's going to be down to Clyde, and then we'll pretty much have vectors from there to the ILS 30 left approach. Been a pretty uneventful flight, really clear. All the clouds stayed away from us today, except for that smog we dealt with getting out of Burbank, but that's to be expected. That's just LA for you. And that's what we got. So we're going to go, well, we'll go auto brakes 1. Don't need to go too crazy here. We got a lot of runway to play with there in San Jose, California. Trucks, there we go. It's starting to pop up now, 35 nautical miles to that. But right now we're looking good, and we're watching the RNP there, and we'll capture that, and then the VNAV will follow it all the way down. Airport elevation is 62, so we can drop that down right about there, and that will be fine. Yep, 50 is good enough there. And that is looking good. Looking at the minimums for ILS runway 30 left approach, it's going to be 257 on the decision height. So 257 on this guy. So just bring it up to 257. There you go. Right down there. Sweet. Airplane is slowing down to 280 knots for trucks here as we start to get a little bit lower here. We're at Mach 0.7 right now. The indicated airspeed is not what you think it is when you're in Mach mode. So that's the reason why it doesn't seem like we're doing 280 knots, but we're doing well over that because we have a ground speed of 396 right there. Almost to 18,000 feet before we go off of standard pressure. I wanted to show you, I could turn the weather radar off. It says it doesn't work anyway. We have in-op sticker here on the terrain, but the terrain radar actually does work. I'll turn it on, and it'll turn on just like that. Here's our right-hand turn. And there it is right there, painting in all of these mountain peaks that are off to our left there. Yep, just like that. Below standard, so hit that guy, and local altimeter is 3003. Just hit the old B key. Unable 250 at Wilson. Well, we're going to slow it down. Don't worry about it. right, below 10,000 feet, landing lights come on. We're just gonna get all these on for now so we don't have to mess with them later. And we're gonna go ahead and get the wing light on as well. And we can put our start switches to continuous. There we go, looking good here. We'll go down the flow. Pressurization and landing altitude's good to go. Recall, that is checked. And then we've got auto brakes set to 1. Then we have landing data, VREF, minimums all set. Approach briefing is complete. And now we move on to the approach, which is altimeters. Already got them. Next will be landing. And we already got the start switches to continuous. And speed brake will go to armed. All will be well. 9,100 feet, 225 there. Bit of speed brake on the way in, almost a Clyde here now, and we will be grabbing the ILS quicker than you think. I'm gonna go ahead and just arm the approach, and that will illuminate there, so we'll wait until we grab that. I already got the airport inside up there on our left-hand side. And once we grab that glide slope and all that stuff, we'll introduce everything else, so. Slowing down a little early, perhaps. Sometimes that happens. But we're grabbing everything now. Got the glide slope there. And we are 1.8 from Jeans. And we're going to go ahead and get the landing gear down and go flaps 15. So gear down. There you go. There's that smog that we love so much. Pull our power back here. We're at flaps 30. Landing gear's down. 3 green.
1,000.
Now all we have to do is just land. That's it. There we go. As we get through that haze layer, it gets a little bit better for you. It's 9 knots off the nose, nothing terrible. I'm gonna concentrate and shut up and let you enjoy the landing.
500. 400.
We didn't get those speed brakes armed, did we? We didn't. We did now. Oh man.
300.
I love doing this at the last second. It's a sim flying for you.
Minimums.
Never fails.
Glide slope. Glide slope.
Got a long displaced threshold.
Glide slope.
Landing.
Glide slope. Glide slope.
We're fine on the glide slope.
Glide slope. Glide slope. Glide slope. Glide slope. Glide slope. Glide slope. 20. 10.
Versus out. Apply that nose wheel down. We made it down here safely to the ground in San Jose. And now we can go start our APU up here. And we can go to off, clear the runway, bring our flaps up. Going to recycle that speed brake as well so it gets put away. And we'll taxi into the gate. Welcome to San Jose, everybody. All right, APU's looking good here. We are taxiing to Terminal B. Gate 23 is what we're going to be looking for here, so keep an eye out. There's American there. Some of these sceneries can be a little unoptimized, and you start to get these stutters. I do love, you know, third-party sceneries, but man, that's an unfortunate thing that happens sometimes. It's not the airplane that's doing it for me. The gate, parking brake comes up. There we go. We'll be on the APU power now, like that. And we can shut the engines down. There we go, just like that. And anti-collision comes off. And now we can call up the jetway to connect to the airplane. So we'll do that with the little pushback helper. So aircraft and jetway, there she goes. And here comes out to the airplane now. All right, folks, that's going to do it for this episode of Microsoft Flight Simulator. Let me know what you thought of it in the comments below and what you think of the PMDG 737. We'll be flying it again, and we'll get through the growing pains of you know, going from Airbus all the time over to Boeing. So let me know. I'll see you guys next time. Take care.